Guess what? It's time for your daily reading. Today we're going to be using the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So let's go ahead and get into it. So over here with the Death card, you may have been going through a very significant transformation over the past 3 months or maybe the past 2 to 3 years. Whatever this transformation, it has taken a lot out of you. It has been not the easiest journey. It's required a lot. Maybe you're having to reflect a lot, maybe having to work a lot harder than you have in the past. It's just taken a lot out of you, and you are maybe a little bit weary or tired in the aftermath. If this scenario involves other people, it has taken a lot out of them as well, and they too have been growing and transforming through the process. Even if maybe you don't notice it as much in them on the surface level, it has been happening to them underneath, like within themselves. But the transformation has been happening, and you are starting to get to that finish line. Over here with the Three of Wands, now you're in this place where you may be looking at what's next for me. What do I want to do next? I've made this transformation, and it almost feels like there is an opportunity for a clean slate. I can start over new, I can start over fresh. This may also be because we are just coming into a new year, so new year, new you, new year, new me. But this is a time where you're really starting to think about what's next for me and how do I want to go about things. With this Three of Wands energy, though, I'm also feeling a sense of fear because we don't want to make a mistake. We don't want to be hasty. We think, what if I make a move and then I just end up going back to the way that things were, and that transformation that I thought happened didn't really happen. There is this feel of having to tiptoe around something or walking on eggshells. And Spirit is saying that the future outcome right now is looking really positive over here with the Sun card. That there are really good things that await you. The only advice with the Sun card, though, is to make sure that even though good things are coming for you and it is safe to plant your flag or plant your seed or move forward in whatever way you would like without fear of going backwards to old patterns, whether that's within yourself or with others. Still, even though things are looking bright, just make sure that you're not ignoring things that still need to be addressed, because yes, you have made a transformation with the Death card. Yes, you are nearing the finish line, but you haven't fully crossed it just yet. And you can still plan for the future, but the Sun card is basically saying that good things abound, good things are coming for you. Just make sure that you are not focusing so much on the good things that you are in effect ignoring other things that need to still be processed or reflected upon or healed. It's not a lot that you still need to heal on, but there are still a few things. And when we ignore that, and then things are going well, and then all of a sudden they take a turn and we think, hey, universe, what happened? What gives? I was focusing on all the positives. Why did this negative thing happen to me? I thought you and I were on the same page, universe. The reason why is because we have been ignoring the things that the universe has been showing us, but we decided not to look very closely at. An example of this is red flags, maybe in a partnership. A lot of times we get really into the love and loviness and doviness and honeymoon phase of a relationship, and we start to ignore red flags or ignore things that are maybe not red flags, but that are things that should be addressed, incompatibilities that, if discussed, can become new compatibilities. Just because it's incompatible on the surface doesn't mean that you and the other person or others involved can't find solutions. But if you don't talk about them, you can't find solutions. If you still sweep them under the rug, you can never really address them and find new solutions, right? New outcomes, new ways where you guys actually do mesh. So when that happens, we're just focusing on the positives in a relationship, and then all of a sudden something happens and we're like, I feel like the universe or this person or these people just bit me in the butt. Or, universe, why didn't you make me aware of this to begin with? And the universe is just like, we did make you aware. You just chose not to look, right? You chose to ignore and sweep it under the rug. So that's the only advice with the Sun card is good things are happening, just don't sweep things under the rug. And that again is the advice over here with the Two of Pentacles is a lot of good things are happening, so you definitely want to focus a lot of your energies on the positives, but just make sure that you're keeping your perspective in balance, not because you need to notice the negatives to end something, right? To bring death to anything, right? We don't need to notice things to make decisions, right? To take action. If we see something in a scenario that doesn't quite align with us, it doesn't mean that we need to notice it and then be like, bye. But we do need to notice it so that then we can heal it within ourselves or heal it within the relationship through communication or, any kind of energy work or manifestation work you want to do. But how can you know what needs to be addressed or changed or manifested if you're not paying attention? So just be in balance. And that is across the board. That even includes being in balance with the Three of Wands, that it is safe to move forward. And the fears are something to be in balance about, right? To notice, but not to be taken over by, right? We don't want to slow down or not make choices just because we're feeling fear, but we also don't want to ignore that fear. We want to address it within ourselves so we can claim these positives, so we can make the changes that we need, and so we can cross the finish line of our transformation. And that is your daily message.